Please welcome Gabrielle Union. See you, as am I.
Oh my gosh.
So happy you're here.
That was awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, right? They're good. So happy that you're here. Congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
It's so much fun. You're incredible in it. And truth be told, there are a lot of great tips on how to commit crimes in this movie.
So many.
Get away with it.
So many. Well, not to get away with it, but yeah.
Almost.
Almost. So close.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
The cast is incredible.
It's insane.
You, Bill Murray, Ed Harris, Jennifer Coolidge, who you saw in the clip, Pete Davidson. I mean,
Louis Pullman.
I
mean, no, I was, you know, a little intimidated. Initially, I think I was the third person to sign on. It was Jennifer, who's, you know, the star and the icon, who's also the executive producer, and then it was Ed Harris, and they're like, you would be Ed Harris's, you know, love interest. I said, what? A few good. It's all the right stuff. Yeah, yes, please.
That's all it took.
That's all it really is all it took.
And I read that you all filmed everything in 22 days?
Yes.
Is that true? And mostly in one location?
Yes. The vast majority of the movie was in one location, which was the house that you see in the film, which is a little smaller than it appears. So yeah, we had a lot of challenges, like heat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, if you're going to be stuck in a house for 22 days with a cast, that's not a bad cast to be stuck in a house with.
It's not a bad cast,
yes.
But there, you know, when you bring animals to work, generally most people are like, does anyone have allergies? And that didn't happen. And
there were animals brought.
Someone brought their dog, right, to set. Except one of our cast members, who shall remain nameless, Pete. He is terribly allergic to dogs.
Oh God.
And you know, it starts with a, you know, when the.
Yes.
And then we're watching him turn into Hitch, and I was like, this is awful. This is awful. Or like people, you know, they think that they're, you know, far enough away from where we're filming that they can eat Doritos. And
that's
you
a
know,
bad set
you are
idea.
delivering. You're like, and this is my Oscar-winning performance, and it's like crunch, crunch, crunch.
Oh,
and like we didn't get that. We didn't get that.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
well,
it was a little challenging.
I have to say the movie's phenomenal, and your work is phenomenal in it. So congratulations on that. We have a little something in common.
Yes.
Your first job ever was interning at a modeling agency.
Yes.
My first job ever was interning at a modeling agency.
No way.
Yes, but yours blossomed into an incredibly successful modeling career. Can we show a picture?
Incredibly successful. Let's see. Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, Naomi Campbell was clearly shaking in her boots.
Absolutely adorable. And you had a booming modeling career at that time.
Sure, that was 1-800-DENTIST.
But it paid.
Well, did it? It was, I think it was like 120 a day, and I was like, oh, I'm rich.
Yeah,
and then you pay 20% and the taxes and the whatnot, and I was like, so I have $6. But you would do those like industrials.
Yes.
Where they're like, wear this headset, right? For 100 and whatever a day. And then later, when I, started, getting a little bigger in Hollywood. Oh, they brought it out because it's cheap photos. And now I'm the lady in the OnStar, thing. When you buy your car and it's like, hello, I'm with OnStar, and it's me with the damn headset on.
Oh my God.
Like I'm like promoting this, but it was just, back when we're broke, you do these damn.
Of course,
jobs.
you sign up and you're young and you don't know any better. I don't want to flex, okay?
No, please, flex on me.
But I too had a little bit of a modeling career.
Please, let's see this.
Many years ago. So DPM, do you have a picture?
Yeah.
Yes. That
It's the double loop.
was. Not everyone would have done the double loop.
No, it's the double.
I did the double loop.
It's the double. It's like the sunglass. Like I used to do Montgomery Ward's, all the biggest department stores, for their big Memorial Day weekend double spread, and
Oh yeah, just so organic. Yeah. Yeah, my modeling career started and ended with that photo. Basically. Same. I am so impressed. You are incredibly outspoken about the deep inequalities that exist in the entertainment industry. What does progress look like to you?
I mean, when you move beyond representation is step one. When there's a billion steps. I don't want a seat at a crappy table. That just means I'm covered in crap. Like, I want real, the power to actually elicit change.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't come with step one. Like, you have to actually be uncomfortable. So when I, started producing and I was putting together projects, and when the rubber hits the road, they're like, well, are you willing to give up money to make sure such and such is paid? And I was like, yeah, I am. And you have to be willing to do the right thing, even if it makes you uncomfortable or even if it doesn't actively benefit you. Because real equality and real liberation is what benefits all of us. And you have to be committed to it.
I wish more producers were like you. That's what separates you from a lot of people, and it's proven to be wildly successful. When you were starting your producing career, you talked about an experience that happened on the set of Deliver Us from Eva that changed the way that you looked at producing from that point forward. What was that?
So we were in the hair and makeup trailer, and it was me and LL Cool J.
They are familiar.
And I'm very Scorpio, and I like to argue, and I like to be right more than anything. And people are like, "Do you want to be right, or do you want love?" And I was like, "To be right. I feel loved if I'm right." So we were having a little argument back and forth, but the time is just ticking, right? And you're thinking, this is the most important thing, right? End of the day, I've sort of forgotten about the little debate that we were having, and I overhear one of the crew guys say, well, now I'm not gonna make it to my daughter's, event. And you start to realize no one person is bigger than anyone else. It takes every single one of us to make this. And all of our time is important.
Right.
And when you start thinking that your time is more important than someone else's, you've lost the plot. And so I vowed that if I ever, became a producer, that I would make sure that everyone's time was respected and everyone understood that no one person is more important than anyone else. Yeah.
I love that story. Because that impacts, and when it starts at the top, when you set the pace when you're on set, when you're producing something or you're number one on the call sheet, you set the pace for everyone else.
No, absolutely. But you have to be willing to there was a gig, and the studio that shall remain nameless, they didn't want to give this woman who has been nominated for Oscars, multiple, an executive producer credit, which she deserved. We all worked on this project, and they were like, this is good enough for her. And I said, well, it's not good enough for me. I'll give up mine. I don't have what she has. I'm not bringing the same gravitas to this project. And you have to be able to take a stand.
Yeah.
And if that means giving up some of your salary or giving up some of your producer fee or just making sure that people are getting paid or they like the food, that is part of our responsibility. I do believe I am my brother and sister's keeper. Yeah. We all have to have that mentality.
I want to talk about your daughter, Zaya, who was honored at the Out 100 event last year for her trailblazing in the queer community. What does it feel like as a parent to watch your daughter be so fearless in advocating for rights, especially right now in this moment in time when there's so much oppression, hate, fill in the blank, from this administration?
It's scary. And I am in awe constantly of her bravery. But I'm like, like I'm pumped, in the same way that we would cheer for, our son Zaire's first dunk. I was like, ooh, get him. The way she stands up for herself and the way she fights just as hard as anyone else whose liberty, whose very existence, whose very humanity is at risk. She puts it all on the line. She is 10 toes down, and she doesn't back off for anybody. It doesn't matter if you hold the highest seat in our country, or you're Elon Musk, or maybe those are interchangeable. She is about not only her liberation, but everyone's liberation. Because when you start to barter with whole communities and you let them in the door, they're in the house, they're coming for everybody. Did no one watch Handmaid's Tale?
That's right.
It's coming. So you have to fight, and she's a fighter. And so I'm proud. I've raised fighters, and I'm happy about that.
Well, she has. She has an excellent example in you to look up to as a mama. So I'm so happy you're on. Congratulations on everything. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.